Just keep on cranking here. And just what I said earlier about the limits and stuff, we're already at 33,000 for amount of stored food, so the amount of stored food we have is kind of ridiculous at this point in time. At least ridiculous in my opinion. Obviously, we probably can still use all of that in like maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 winters, but we have a nice stored amount. We don't need any of that either. Alright. I'm gonna watch over this real quick for a second. Just keep eyes on it. Then we gotta find out what it does. Because I have no clue. And once we find out what that does, we'll actually know if we put it in a decent spot or not. We did kind of hit this pretty bad with taking up that space of it, but like I said, that's kind of going to be obsolete here in a little while. Probably not the best thing to have this thing be to have this forest lodge be obsolete, since it's the closest one to our civilization. But I think what we'll do is grab another stockpile and just move it over here. You know, and I don't really want to give that one up either. So I don't want to encroach too much on that. But we'll leave it here for a little while. I'll probably just drop it down to 3 people being or working there. We're getting our nice little town hall set up. I'm not sure if it adds excuse me, a person for one of the different areas. I'm not sure. I don't see another empty spot besides teacher, so we have to wait and see what happens. It's almost completed still, so. Boom. Alright. Okay. I guess this is the more of in-depth stuff. Inventory. Okay. There you can see how the scales have jumped around. Nomads. I wonder what nomads are. I don't know. That might be something that happens now that we have the town hall. I also think something else we'll do too, here in the very near future, is going to be throw another tailor up, probably over at the other side, over here. And we'll probably have one over here, and then we'll put a third one down on this section. Obviously, once we get into building that out. So, but the town hall does seem like it would have a lot of good information to keep up with. That way you can see what's all going on and who's in what area. Don't need the builders either, so we'll go ahead and start throwing some people back into different fields. I do really think at this point in time the gatherer's hut right here is kind of obsolete, so I am going to go ahead and take this gatherer's hut away. Not that I really want to, but I mean, there's just no point in having it there if it doesn't actually do anything, so. I'm not going to call it cleansing the area, but you know. Got it. I've never messed with that before, so I didn't really know what that was. But yeah, so seems like what I said is kind of going that way. We have 180 people now and about 55 kids, so a population of almost 130 or 230, excuse me, not 130. But yeah, like I said, we'll probably end up doing. I think I want to put the tailor probably right over here. I might want to move this forest lodge. Now I'm thinking about it, not at this immediate time, but move this forest lodge more over in this direction once this all gets cleared out. Just move it over here so we can use this area to really finish fleshing out this area. I don't want to go too crazy, but being able to use this area is going to be nice. Bump all this back up for everybody that just passed away over that last short little bump. Fill out the gatherers. People and foresters. Like I said, we should be at the point where the amount of people we should have and be able to get to limit-wise should really now be able to fill out our needs for people, so we shouldn't really be having too much of an issue with that. I mean, even, you know, if we can get to 200 people, the farmers are going to be finished off. We'll have the full foresters, and then we'll have a bunch of people in each different profession. So, and we're still having kids get born, so. I mean, with 220 people, we'd have enough of this fleshed out where we would have at least 10 people in the profession that we should have a decent count of people in that we don't currently have a decent count of. But yeah. And I think once we start seeing the children number shoot back down, I think once we hit about 30 on the children count, I'll start doing a little bit more building, especially houses. But I'm just kind of looking around, you know, trying to figure out where I want to go with different things. I think for right now, I probably want to keep working on this side since I kind of have an idea of what I want to do over here. I think because the sheep are already up here, if I can finish clearing my throat, since the sheep are already up here, I'm going to leave the sheep farm here, and I'm going to add the tailor over here. I'm going to throw a forest lot, move this forest lodge over here, build a hunting's cabin, and should be in pretty good shape. Now I'm just kind of not liking my choice of location for that storage barn. I know we can put stuff here, but I would have liked to be able to just flip another pasture right on the back side. I guess we can always do it right there. If we're gonna bump it one down, we can. We actually, you know, I know I'm kind of going back and forth with wanting to set things in certain places and then not being sure and all that stuff, but I think what I'm gonna want to do, I don't want to I'm gonna set that there, and I'm gonna set another hunter's cabin right beside it to be able to get this whole area. And then once those get built, I can take that away. Really take it away now. And then I'm not sure exactly how I want to do this, just because of the amount of stuff that's here. I'm assuming this one's probably full. Yeah, we're probably going to do another storage barn over in this area. Like I said, I really just don't want to overly stress the jobs out. So, let that go. I know these are full, but you know, we'll work on it slowly. And the hunting cabin too. I mean, the hunting cabin right there is obviously doing work, and the other one we place out here, excuse me, will continue to do a decent amount of work. So. I do really enjoy this game though. It's fun to see how far we've progressed in the series, going from where we had this one little storage barn, and then we grew it into this farm, and then just kept moving on down with the following farm and stuff. I do kind of wish now that I would have kept it symmetrical and put a third farm right here, and so on and so forth, to be able to keep the homes running right now, because I could have had that stockpile moved over a little bit. But you know, I mean, it is what it is. I can't say you live and you learn, but you know, you live and you learn. I guess I should have said not that I can't say it, but I don't really want to. Kind of a cliche, but you know, I just think that at certain points we were kind of feeling like we, excuse me, we're doing really well and didn't have to focus on different things. Then I'm pretty sure a lot of these right here were when we were having the food problems. We just started throwing stuff down, and that's something else too, to see the different numbers on stuff compared to where it was when we were having so much issues with food storage and keeping up with food and everything. But you know, like I said, it all comes full circle, and everything, you know, will have its time. But I definitely want to, I mean, I don't have to go into the storage barn. Throw it down right there. And then we'll put the other I'm gonna throw that other Taylor down too now. I know I said I really wanted to hold off, but kinda interested in fleshing this out. So plus we kinda need the other thing that I put down. But we'll probably, well, I'm saying we'll probably hold off. But you know, y'all know me, I'm gonna say we should hold off, and then I'll get an idea and then throw some stuff down and start really going with it. Which is pretty much how we ended up where we're at. But, you know, nothing wrong with that. Sometimes if you got an idea, you just gotta go for it before, you know, the idea passes. So the plan and what I'm doing is that I'm trying to use this point right here to the maximum efficiency as I can. So what I'm doing is I threw the Taylor down right here, which I know my road, right, where's the house? Right here, will run right past, and I think I already have a decent amount of that road fleshed out right there. And since the Taylor is going to be here, I should be able to throw one more house on this backside, and then I should be able to throw a house right here, and then I might be able to do, well, I should be able to do a pasture actually. I can just grab the corner real quick. Grab this corner right here. Yeah, see? And I can put a pretty decently sized pasture right here. 17 by 11, so I could throw another sheep pasture right there, or a chicken pasture, depending upon what I wanted to do. You know, just trying to figure out some stuff. We can get some more cattle. We potentially could get 9 cattle right now if I wanted to. I don't want to do that though. I want to hold off because I want to use our money for the next trader to come in with iron, because we are getting a little low on that. Not that, you know, we are really in need of it right now. We have almost 500 tools and over 300 iron, but at some point in time we will have to start worrying about that. So you know, we can't really get too comfortable. And I think something else too that'll be good for us is to get another cemetery up and going. I know after so many years, the cemetery, the graves start dissipating. Okay. So here is our current production rate and consumption rate. Okay. So we currently produce 30,000 food and we use 26. Herbs, we use 32. I'm just trying to look at everything and see what's going on. Logs we definitely could use a little bit more help on. I think we're, well, that number also might be the amount of stuff we build, so we do need to build some more storage barns by the looks of it. I don't think we have enough storage going on. So we'll probably build one over here, one more over here, and then, God, I'd hate to build another storage barn right here and have 4 in that cluster, but we might end up coming down here and building a storage barn right there. And then I guess, well, alright, so we got 2 over here and they're full. Can we put a storage barn right here? Is that doable? Yeah, that's doable. We can put a storage barn there. Why not? Won't hurt anything. If anything, it would be nice to have another one. Oh. And now we're at that point where our children have caught the population back up. So it did end up doing what I thought it was going to do. We're up to about 200 people, 200 adults, and we still have 50 kids. So all those elders are starting to die, and we're starting to switch the generations. So we might even get up to close to 300 before we cap. Which I'm saying cap when the children number starts dropping and doesn't maintain a steady number. That's when you know you've hit your cap, to where there's the number of adults is in all the homes, and you don't really have any more adults going out and venturing. The overview, we have 80 homes, and we added 25, right? Yeah, we added 25 homes. So we added a quarter onto, over a quarter onto the amount of homes that we were capping at 200. So, well, I wouldn't say we were capping at 200, it's more like 220. But we couldn't hold that number sustainably. So what are textiles leather? Is that what they're considering textiles? Let me go add some textiles. Yeah, it is. What's the trade value on leather? 10? Oh my god. Put 200 in there. I don't want to take it all, but taking some of it probably shouldn't hurt. God, and we're still getting up there. So yeah, we should probably cap out at 300 roughly. Because we still have at least one house over here with older folks. Got 2 houses over there. That's 4 homes. I'm not even going to go into the rest of it, but just on this half, we have 4 to 6 homes that have older people in them. I mean, I didn't count the other 2. I know I said 4 out loud, but I didn't count the other 2 just because of the fact that there was still children in those homes. So I'm going to cap out the woodcutters. Getting their tradesmen. And then we'll add another fisherman, why not? The fisherman. So yeah, like I said, if we can get the population to 220, we will have max everything on here, or on this side of our board, not including the fact we have 10 builders. So that's another thing you have to look into also. At 220 we'll have this side max, but also have 10 builders, so the amount of other things we can do, or other things we could add them to, and we just keep getting more laborers, so we're definitely on the upswing, which is nice. But you know, even though we're on the upswing right now, there eventually will be a downswing, and you know, we'll have the inverse where we're adding all these people, and then we're gonna have to be focused on making sure we can maintain it. Like I said, every like, I'd say we have 80 homes, so we add like a home a year pretty much would probably be the break-even point of it. Where if you continuously added a home a year, I mean, we're doing 5, which I think is probably fine. If you do 5 homes every 5 years, you should be good, which obviously is equivalent to 1 home a year. But again, these are complete guesses. It might be more like 1 home every 2 years would probably keep the population on a steady growth pattern. These are just my own personal opinions from me playing the game so far. Which obviously, by all means, everybody that plays the game, you know, play how you want. Don't play how I'm playing just because, you know, you might like the way I'm doing it, or you might, you know, think it's the only way to play the game. This is a very open game, and I'm sure, like, I don't know if anybody's paid attention to the numbers as crazily as I've talked about them, but if you watch the numbers in the corners and you see me play with certain things at different points and intervals, there were times where we were losing a bunch of food, and just me running over and filling out the fisherman section fixed the food issues. So, you know, I mean, with that being said, there's definitely more than one way to play. It's really just about how you want to go about it. Because I mean, even if we get another pasture of cattle, which is definitely going to happen, it's just a matter of where and when we put it. Even though it'll probably end up being down on this section. Once we get over here, we'll probably end up doing 2 cattle pastures down here. But yeah, because he just keeps having cattle, which is fine. Now watch, we'll go want cattle in a couple episodes, and we won't be able to find it. But even with that being said, I mean, you know, we could also throw a cattle pasture